Hello everybody. Welcome back to the channel where we talk about stuff. The rumblings, rumble, I don't know what that was. The rumblings continue as we allegedly get ever closer to the launch of the Ethereum ETFs. A lot of similarities to Bitcoin are currently taking place. I know that often Ethereum is not usually in the news, and this is why we're seeing this. Sorry, my eye's itching. I can't help it. This is why we're seeing this like light pickup or heavy pickup in the amount of Ethereum news that there is. Much like Bitcoin, people have been buying it for a while. Surprise! I don't know if you knew that. Because with the news that we might soon be seeing the approvals of multiple Ethereum ETFs within the US of A, speculation is abound as to where the price is going to go. We've gone over that a couple of times for those of you who missed it. The idea is that this year, so saith the analysts, that we could potentially hit between a $10,000 to a $12,000 Ether. It seems believable. However, the market is crazy if you haven't been paying attention to it. The other factor is, previously before, we received a number of numbers as to like the metrics for Ethereum. So you might remember, oh gosh, what was it? The numbers that we got were, I think, it was 10% of all Ether out of 100% is all that's left on crypto exchanges. We had news that I believe this was a while back. I believe that 10% of all Ether was staked. That is to say, of all the Ether that there is, 10% of it had been allocated into the machine to be able to make passive income. Those numbers have changed. As the amount of Ethereum on crypto exchanges continues to dwindle more and more every day, the expectation is that a lot of people are, of course, buying a lot of Ether before the launch of the ETFs to basically literally be able to stake their claim on the actual network. The only way to make new Ether is by having Ether. And as one of the light cornerstones of the cryptocurrency space is basically revolving around passive income. There are a lot of coins right now that are in the news or usually tend to be quite popular because of their passive income prospects. You hold the coin, you do nothing else with it except for literally holding it, and it basically spits out money all the time for you. And Ethereum, relatively, as it is the most used blockchain, sits at the top of the charts for that one. So, the world's second largest cryptocurrency by market cap, Ethereum, has seen the amount of Ether staked within its protocol surge to a brand new all-time high. The number now is 47.38 million Ether are now being staked. This is equivalent to 33.9% of Ether's supply. 1 out of every 3 coins in the last 2 or 3 months has been picked up and are being exclusively used to stake and validate and secure the network and to make passive income. 1 out of every 3 Ether. At the time of me making this video, we still do not have the Ethereum ETFs. This number's probably going to skyrocket in a very short period of time. We will probably get to 50% in the next couple of months, if we can be completely honest with ourselves. A lot of times when I make videos, I try my best because I know I can get quite dramaticals and I'm flailing and all these other things like that. You need to really understand what's taking place. This level of consolidation is incredibly important in a multitude of ways. A lot of people within crypto, and even I dare even extend that to within finance, don't really understand what a lot of this like power and wealth consolidation means. So for instance, you know how like we're always talking about how there's not a lot of Bitcoin left, because there isn't. When we get news that the ETFs bought, accumulated, holding over 1 million Bitcoin over the course of a 3 to 4 month period, this is incredibly important to keep in mind, because they're doing it during 2024. 2025 is also going to be a year. This means that they're going to have accumulated even more coins than they currently have right now. I'm guesstimating that by the end of this year, the Bitcoin ETFs are going to hold between 2 to 3 million Bitcoin. It seems completely logical. These are my numbers. The issue is that those coins are literally being taken off of the table for billions of other people on the planet. A lot of people in crypto. I know we have some long-term visionaries there, but the vast majority of people are in this market just trying to make quick money, not really paying attention to what's happening. When you hear that the big dogs are in the market and they're accumulating billions of dollars worth of Bitcoin, even when we hear that there are outflows from the ETFs, that same day there's always a triple amount of value of money that whales have also bought up as well. We're probably around 4 to 5 years away for there literally being no Bitcoin available for the general public. I know it sounds crazy. You can disagree with me if you want, but we're seeing it now. We're seeing this rapid amount of accumulation. We know that the Bitcoin that ends up getting sold by people who are mining Bitcoin goes into the hands of banks and institutions. We've heard this before. We've gone over it. For those of you who missed it, they told us banks have been coming to us and saying, if you sell it directly to us, because they want clean Bitcoin. That's a whole nother topic of discussion. The extrapolation then becomes, where is the market in 2035? Who's the people who are selling are the people who, like, any coins that get sold onto the market are then immediately absorbed by tons of buy orders. If you're crazy enough to sell into Bitcoin passing $1 million per coin, you have no vision for exactly what's going to happen. When you talk about that, less Ethereum has been around for 7-8 years. Less than 1 out of every 10 coins is gone. 90% of the supply is gone from crypto exchanges. There's less than 10% left for 8 billion people. In a couple of months, we went from 10% of all Ether being staked to 33.9% of Ether. If that number goes up to 50%, if half of all Ethereum that exists is locked away in the machine in 2024, what do those numbers look like in 2027? How little Ether is there? The Ether that gets created is from the people who are already holding a lot of it. What happens if these ETFs launch and that number that's being staked, that's not available for the ETFs? They can't buy staked coins. 50% is gone, and all that's left is less than 10%. That's all that the ETFs are able to actually buy. They start buying, Ethereum's price goes up, and all the other whales who've been buying for years begin to panic, and they start buying more on crypto exchanges as well. How much Ether is left for the public in 2029, in 2035? This is what I'm always, once again, I'm trying not to be too dramatic, but like, it's insane to see these movements. There was just a thing going on online. People were asking for surveys. They were gauging how bearish or bullish people were on the market. And I was like, is no one else paying attention? This is, and the word unprecedented doesn't even cover it. Like, we've never seen anything like this before in this market. This is happening before the launch of the ETFs. What happens after? What happens 6 months after these ETFs have launched for Ethereum? What happens in 2.5 years? What if we get to a $75,000 Ether Normal people can't afford that anymore. It then becomes another asset that all the rich people own and have consolidated their wealth once again by buying all of it as all this like fearful news keeps entering the market. Look at them selling. Look at them selling. Look at them. No one's paying attention to who's actually buying. And even this will probably be a distant memory in many people's minds because the only thing that ends up sticking is like scary news. The USA recently moved coins from one wallet to another. The market went down. People were scared that the German government was moving coins and selling coins. The market went down. We've had news of countries and the US accumulating tons of Bitcoin for years. We know that there are tons of countries who are mining Bitcoin. The good news it did that little shut off thing. The good news never sticks, and that's the problem with a huge portion of this market. According to data from Sentiment, the figure has more than tripled from 10% that was staked 2 years ago and is now over $140 billion. I personally have high expectations for what the Ethereum ETFs are going to do. I think minimum $10,000 to $12,000 per Ether is definitely going to be a thing. It's just more of the 2025 prices because some people are talking about an $18,000 to $20,000 Ether. If there's nothing left, obviously we're going to hit these numbers. There's so much crypto being absorbed by institutions and by companies. And the only thing that people pay attention to is someone wrote on Twitter, yeah, their business happens, you should be scared. And everyone's like, oh my gosh. And people sell off their coins. There was something recently, I don't have it here. There was something recently where some metric popped up and the person basically said, it looks like the market's going to start moving back up. Why? Because over the last 2 months, all these short-term holders, the people who just got into the market, they were all flushed out. You give them a little bit of fear. They get terrified. They sell their coins. Those coins get absorbed by whales. The consolidation has strengthened. It continues. And then the market, they basically allow the market to go back up. They want to flush out all the new people constantly to get the coins. Consolidation of power, consolidation of wealth. When you talk about like the wealth transfer, this is it. Because most crypto was in the hands of everyday people. If you keep getting scared and terrified, you get washed out of the market and you see prices go back up. You have no choice but to buy at a higher price. And you can't even accumulate as much as you had before. Wealth transfer happening right now. Anywho, I tried, but I failed. I think I'm just a ranty kind of person. Yeah. So we should probably in the next couple of days be getting some kind of news as to when the ETFs are going to launch. I think it'll have a big effect on the market and on market prices just because, like literal logic. I do hope that you've all enjoyed. If you could leave a thumbs up, that'd be absolutely incredible. It does help out with my metrics. Thank you all once again for watching, listening, liking, commenting, and supporting. And I will most certainly be talking to you all soon. See you.